howdy, a yeehaw. Let's get this one started. Complexity starting on that T side. It's their map pick, and so, of course, NIP take the luxury of starting on the defense. We'll see if it feels like one in just a moment. They are going to be going for some outside pressure, and Hampus is in a prime position to surprise here. Look at them.
Interesting
leaping.
Choice.
Oh my gosh, it's perfect. Only for the first. Oh, excuse me, I just had my dinner.
That's all right. It was barbecue. It's quite delicious. I can see if I can grab this one out. Here is Twist will grab config, and now we find ourselves in a 3-on-4 situation. So they do have tight positioning towards main, but Plopsky's timing on when he trickles on up through secret could be everything, or this could be everything as Blame spots up Twist.
Oh, poison.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, you put it on your sniper, put him long range, that P250 can do damage. And Rush, he's going to isolate Rez here. Look at that. That's a freebie, a huge gap in the defense from the Ninjas. And Rush should be finishing the job here. A bit sketchy from both of them. 2-on-2. Survival important. He's looking for a survival, and that's going to be a nasty, nasty death to concede. Felt like Rush had the opportunity there. Now stuck between a rock and a hard place. Needs to isolate. Nuke's giving him the fight. He will try and hunt him down. He's just playing with the clock now, playing with his food, and that's the Plopsky shot we wanted to see. Double kill from him.
Yeah, Plopsky was actually very instrumental on that.
See that? So,
oh, the timing! Wow,
that's the gap. Hoo-wee. Good find.
Minute. You're going to be frustrated with that one right there. Plopsky was actually instrumental in that. The fact that he was able to come up secret and drop the bomb in yard. Then Nork's survivability plastered on top was the round as she wrote it.
Chadney, do you think you could cast this round on your own while I finish my sausage?
Of course.
Okay.
All right. You're going to strap yourself in for some sponge play-by-play. Some of the best in the business. And I say that facetiously. Config, though, through the smoke onto Hampus. That's a good opening on this force buy from Complexity. They want to bounce back, and they want to bounce back furiously. Picking up where they left off on train, they were looking very, very good. Now they've locked in these L-block smokes. This is going to obscure the vision of the CTs. You can see them all dropping on into play. Whereas we'll be smoking off his backside so that he can focus towards the yard position, but they don't want anything to do with this. They actually want to cross over towards the warehouse and secret positions. So Config, as he creeps on forward, using the cusp of the smoke to his advantage. The bomb is still in tow and rotation out by the T-red crate, and there has been a 2-man CT drop to the lower site. They're actually going on a fact-finding mission. There's nothing coming their direction right now, so the timing again will be instrumental through secret. And up the stairs they trolley. They have to deal with Blame standing at the top, so if they continue to push around, that could be everything here as he's just looked away. The timing again. Oh, he's thought better of it. Coming back. Nork now taking down Blame. Poison with the scout. He loses his head as well. Rez now poking out from main, and well, they dealt with this after what was a worrisome start, after what was an opening frag. Config through the smoke. Now it's just Rush in the smoke. 18 seconds left. I think he's very best to be to wait for this to clear, find himself a frag, or go down. Make sure you go down, Rush. Don't let them... okay, there's a kill. 8 seconds, 7 seconds, and they'll finally finish him off. So you want to make sure that you are going down before the time, otherwise there'll be no lost bonus coming on to the next. Hi.
Destroyed that.
I want to see the Blame reaction, because the timing that he looked away would have been frustrating is one word I would use. Yeah, there it is. He just sat there the whole time. That's how the feeling we all have in Counter-Strike is that the Counter-Strike timing, you know? You've heard everybody say that in your matchmaking or ESEA games. Flexi light pistol upgrade. Shouldn't be anything exciting here. And I love this from Rush. Knifing the door. The Molotov will help break her open, give him a little bit of a hidey hole, or a peeky hole.
Not too far off for Config, but catching a nade in the process. He knows someone's going to rotate in. It was Hampus, and a nice clean pick up here. So priority is cleanliness. Don't want to be losing any of those goodies and forcing those rebuys here. Any death for the NIP boys here will be considered unnecessary.
Can we get this catering like forever?
I mean, what do you mean today when they gave us a full?
No, like I don't think I've had a bad meal with the new caterer.
It is banging. Yeah.
It's really good food.
Thoroughly enjoyed that. Well, Rez is having a couple of snacks. And these fish just keep jumping on his plate. That's a quick 3-0. So now we're into the real game. Everybody can pay attention once more. A reminder of what's coming up. Your debut of another Astralis roster. It's a chance to see Glaive, Esatag playing together for the first time.
That'll be a curious one. So Bubsky out, Esatag in. I wonder how many times we'll see them chop and change throughout the season of ESL Pro League Season 12. But as we are here in our second game of the day, we will be strapping on in and seeing if the Ninjas can bounce back after their, well, dumpster fire that was their map choice. Interesting Molotov that just landed on the top of main there. I don't think that was intentional from the CTs. It may have been. I'll have to get my Sherlock Holmes hat on and have a bit of a gander at that one right there, but...
For future reference, it's called a deer stalker, I think.
A hat?
Yeah.
Deer stalker. Oh, never been the hunter.
All right. Killed a few flies in my time, though. Blame on the appropriately named hunt. Ooh, Hampus. He likes this corner, doesn't he? It's where he went in the pistol
as well, yeah.
The flash may not have always guided Hampus's decision-making, and Blame will finish him off. Still, Nuke to be tested on that ramp. Surely he doesn't get checked. This could be a crazy multi-kill. Nuke can't believe it. Quick reactions. Twist spinning. Finding both through the Molotov. Config trying to pick the pieces back up again, and Twist is having none of it. Colossal round from Twist. 3 frags on the first buy of Complexity here on their map pick. It puts Blame into a dire situation. He doesn't have the bomb under the CT control. Maybe the events could be a nice way to descend into that lower site and attack from beneath, but there's always a sound cue attached. Oh, it took at the time.
Yeah, I was about to go to the sound cue option, and then you hit the time one, so I can just shut up, I guess.
Sorry, yeah, this is what's happened. I've spent so much time with you, I'm just stealing all your words now. I'll stop now. But
it's usually the other way around.
It's true. This conviction, it's not called conviction, but whatever the Empress, I think it's called. It's my favorite AK skin. I know you're all wet for the Anubis, but
the Anubis is pretty.
I think this one's prettier.
There are some really nice things that people have created.
And that is one of my many favorites as to why Counter-Strike is so, it's got so much longevity, is the fact that these people have created art for the game, and now, whenever they boot it up, their art is essentially attainable to everyone that participates.
Yeah, now's probably not the time, but I think the fact that Counter-Strike being such an open circuit system, first of all with the esports side of things, and then being a game where the community can contribute in all different facets, whether it's skins, whether it's maps, just the level of creativity that you get to see and that people get to put on the world stage within a game they love it's fantastic, and it's not possible in many of the other titles, and I think people quickly forget that.
Yeah, it's easy to forget. Grass is always greener. That's an interesting little combination. Pop flash for Hampus to be maneuvering around. Doesn't necessarily get anything other than information that nobody's home outside those smokes. So he can continue to check that and keep the CTs just with their heels dug in. It will come down to the timing on, once again, we keep referring to timing and Blame. There it is. This time it favored him, but he doesn't connect the shots. Config has found frags elsewhere though, so that's going to really change things. They're going for a vent dive. I can't believe this. Who's lower? It's on Hampus, the only man there. And he doesn't care. If only for the first. Rush finding it. Obo lurking to cut off the rotate, takes his time to steady the aim. Complexity could do this with Deagles, Chad. There's a real chance the Tech 9 from Rush doesn't quite connect enough. Now both of them are there. Is that the bomb loose on lower?
Yeah, it's a problem right now. So Blame on this flank right here. They're going to think it's coming through any moment, as both the CTs, Nuke and Twist, are on the lower side already. None of them focus towards ramp right now, but they're still hidden. So the more noise that Obo makes, the better. If he can feign that he's 2 people, this could open the door for Blame.
Okay. Trigger discipline as well, decision making here. Has to be precise. And Wild Spray does manage to convert into Nuke. Now a 1v2. Doable. Smoke on Blame. 20 seconds to finish this game. 7 frags already for Twist. Can he really win them another round, essentially on his own? He had a triple kill in the one before now.
Not even considering it.
12 seconds. That's the Molotov. That could win the round. Twist does burn down to a crisp, and he'll recover an AK for his troubles. That's quite the way to make an announcement of your first round here on Nuke.
Yeah, good stuff.
That was nice.
Yeah, that round, it just felt like it fell apart very quickly, and then almost NIP being able to pull it back together. If he converts that cleanly, poof.
Like Obo just breaking the windows, remaining present. It was enough for the Swedes. These are professional salaried players to get caught out. Rare.
Okay, let's dive back in
Outside
here.
smokes. Now, I wonder if there's going to be any presence behind it. Typically, as we've previously seen, is I think they just missed one of their smokes. Looks like the close divider one isn't there. It's arrived, I think it's out elsewhere in the
That molly must be
river.
intentional. We've seen it a couple times now. They're molotoving on top
That
of
one.
main. Oh yeah, that shouldn't be there. But there's a Molotov that has been thrown now a couple of times by NIP on top of the main roof.
Yeah. What can you theorize as to the purpose of it?
I think maybe it's complexity having.
It bounces off the roof?
I'm just trying to remember like the different complexity wall smokes. So many of them that they like to run. So surely this is intentional by NIP.
It's intriguing all the same. And now Poison's going to give us a nice Molotov into the site. Info for Hampus just doesn't quite pass the reaction speed test.
They might just limp out squeaky door here. Excuse me. Hit my cough button.
Well played. This does feel like a world for Red to get a multi-kill, and there it is. Filling the feed. Looking fantastic. Trying to claw one back was Rush, and he does manage to get away scarf-free. A second not on the cards when Rez is hitting his shots. Damn. Lining them up. Okay, there was a world. Hampus with just 1 HP gets away. By the skin of his teeth. 5-1. What quite the standard start here on Nuke.
Yeah, an immediate response after losing that low buy round in the previous from NIP here. And I remember Complexity the other day when we saw them on Nuke, or it could have even been back in Cologne when they were playing at Heroic. There was issues they were having with their lurks in yard. It was easy to know that Blame was always going to be on the other side of the map. So maybe some adjustments needed on their T side of Nuke here, because in occasions, it seems like they're being read. The lobby aggression to take back territory. We did speak to Thread at the tail end of last season before we went on the player break, or before we went on our break. There was still events after ours, but he was saying that he thinks going forward there might be a shift in the meta on Nuke, especially on the way that the CT side would be played, because the Ts can take so much territory with the potent utility, right? The smoke walls are very powerful. The way that they can get control of yard, get secret, get warehouse, flip the script a little bit. And I assume what he was meaning was there'd be a bit more CT aggression, taking other parts of the map that would normally be given up to the Ts, especially lobby, radio. We're seeing a lot more teams doing the creeps through there with the AWP and a rifle up, but this is going to be a hard top. They're going through the mollies. This is quick.
Already favoring the ninjas considerably, throwing bodies at that hut. Blame's done well to take one out of the heaven position. In a 2 versus 3, Poison, his partner in crime, was responsible for Rap. Good chance on Blame, traded by Hampus, and that's the end of that. Confirmed by Rez, who's definitely got off to a necessary but fantastic start. 9 so far next to his name. Twist is doing exactly the same thing from that ramp room area.
6-1 already. Similar scenes to what we saw in map number 1, but the other way around, as teams on their own map choices, they start traditionally on the weaker side.
Certainly. I've yet to really see them explore that lower site. We saw that vent dive on the half buys, and their outside smokes have been relatively well tested. We are going to see a typical actually a bit more of an aggressive stance. Hampus fancies it.
Flame's normally very thorough here in this position. And Nuke overseeing with the AWP might make him think better of a player up close. So this could be down to a timer, but this is what I was mentioning before. Blame and his yard lurks and being on his own. Teams know the tendency now of Complexity. They're well awares.
Right.
And look at Rez in Squeaky Door Room. This is what I'm talking about. Look at all the space that they're taking. This is so unusual for the CT side, and this is even more unusual. Hampus forward off the flash. 2 kills. Blame and Poison out of the equation, and still he wants more.
What more could you possibly have? Hampus.
Oh, Crated!
Config. Finally, there's something. Rush gets 1. That's it. I think that is it. Will catch 1 in the smoke. Obo operating with just 15 HP. Fancy tricks with his knife around his thumb. But here comes Rez from behind. And that's 7-1. Complexity. Yeah, I mean, I seem to recall in Cologne that it was their nuke that was, as you said, kind of solved a little bit.
Yeah.
And Blame's lurk was one part and parcel of where they struggle to generate frags. Crater.
He's normally such a space maker, right? So if he's struggling to find room, it's harder for him to make the calls and have his teammates capitalize on that space. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Now Rez, honestly just then walk through a CT smoke into Squeaky Tour room. Like, that's how many liberties are being taken on the NIP side, on their CT side. Now, that's unusual, ladies and gentlemen. Nuke CTs, you normally sit back, hold the sights. You already have a lot of wiggle room. Feels like they want a bit more.
A late outside smokes behind the Deagles. And CT response. Just Klopski to oversee it, but he's actually got a gap. He could probably call it clear if he was confident, but at the moment, one of the top performers of Nuke, that's a great flash, completely nullifies Twist and lets them take some space. Jumping across, starting to descend, bomb spotted, and bomb delivered straight to Twist's front door. Very well, Twist definitely has woken up. Config trying to claw things back into the realms of possibility for Complexity, and retrieval of the bomb is priority number one.
Blame Lurk is doing damage. It's keeping Rez in position, so at least they know where one of the three are. And now that Config spotted up another, that's two.
Didn't get it. Ooh, okay.
Can probably go up. Oh, I was going to say heaven here, but not anymore. Rez has dipped back around, so back towards lobby will have to be the port of call into the top site. Two players right now on the lower. Nork, oh, this is the kill.
Yeah, if he is to take the head off Rez. Got a real shot at this one. Surely Config plans safe, he does. No nade. Two flashes for the contact. Klopski and Nork working their way back up from secret.
Very safe, not going through the vent.
Blame has to do something quite spectacular here. Config is nothing more than a distraction. And Nork just blows his head off. Config, 9 HP in a dream. That's not going to be realized today as another round is added to the NIP tally. This is quite the spectacular start. However, we've been talking about an awful lot. A lot of those strong starts aren't always converted as cleanly, especially considering the context of the half and the map.
It's amazing how these leads can quickly trickle away, right? And I'm not sure if that's a symptom of the economy or if it's just a symptom of people solving the puzzle. There's probably lots of answers to that one right there.
But there is a distinct lack of the firepower fragging at the moment from Complexity. We just aren't seeing anyone really doing anything.
What have we got here? 3, 9, 12. Yeah, not a lot of kills, Alex.
No, not at all. So, look at him. Rez, you naughty boy. Through the Molotov, into lobby, and there's Rush dead. It was actually helped out by Nork, as if they needed more aggression. They had it. Config's trying to sprinkle some of his own into the mix. He has got a good deal of space. It will be Twist's responsibility to patch this gap up, and I don't know if he's going to be spotted. God, there's a lot of fights happening at once. Nice catch on the first as he jiggles the orb out as well. Blame taking good space here. One of the closest opportunities we've seen from Complexity, and this is just the start. Missed shot from Twist. Another new lease of life for Poison.
Oh, Config has to be very considerate of this right now.
That's a very cheeky way to find the opening. Up heaven, down the ladder, kills the locker. 4v2 now as Poison does connect on his AWP.
Oh, and luckily they thought better of going into the top side. That's where both Rez and Plopski were, the two individuals with some multi-kill potential of their own. They could have mowed this one down, but the call has come on in and they will make their way to the lower site. Now, with the scoreline at 8-1, the bomb yet to go down, you question, should NIP go for this? Well, a quick little skim, a quick little look. Balancing of the books, you can see that they don't have a whole lot of money to work with. Picking up this AWP, it's one step in the right direction to getting better buy in the following. Nork will be able to buy an AWP if he needs one, but if they save one, well, they're saving the pennies. You want to be as cost sensitive as possible here in Counter-Strike. The economy
Frugality.
The economy isn't as big of a part of the game as it used to be, but it's still a very, very massive component into what we could see brought into every single round. And full kits of utility, or basically full kits of utility, is fantastic stuff for Rez and Plopski to keep as well. Diffuse kits, armor, nades aplenty, an AK and an AWP. Nork has 7.3k. Rez can drop the AWP to him. He can drop a couple rifles for his boys, Twist and Hampus. Rez can buy himself. Simple stuff. But that all needs to be communicated. Me saying that, guys, that's what they're saying. The in-game leader is calling out the drops, saying who gets which guns. It's important details.
It's a live signing session of a Complexity tee.
I think he was drawing the logo.
Ah, that makes more sense.
Yeah. Freehand as well.
Damn, I thought that was printed on. So nice handiwork. Gonna see, oh my goodness, 4 smokes.
There we go. So that's what the
air.
molly's for. It's going to leave a gap. It's going to leave a gap in these L-frame smokes so they throw quickly from spawn.
Ah, you nailed it, Chad. There was an intention, and now look at the execution. Nuke, 1 for 1. Space to be made. Space and ground to be covered as well. They may not respect that. Nade would force him to, and that's going to really slow down the push. So is the spray controlled as he mows down all 3. Body shots galore. Flame the lurk. The loose cannon. Recovering a nade, but walking straight into the layer of Twist. He knows he's going to get under the skin of Complexity. Nuke definitely getting a bit shaken.
Twist has been great at that ramp rotator, like coming in or either holding it solo. He's always felt like he's got a couple. Remember the earlier round where he had the Famous and he swings out and he gets 3 kills as they lose ramp control? Well, here he comes back after Nuke's aggression and mops it up. So you need someone who's handy with the broom, and Twist is doing a really good job of that right now. 9-2, AK's back out. There's that again, so this is definitely prepared.
Won't be throwing that smoke this time.
Oh, then they've had to change their approach of smokes, which is actually giving more vision to Hampus. It is a top hit.
Yeah, it's aggressive. Rez been so good at the start of this game, and he's tested once again, 1 for 1. Poison so low. Plopsky's spray did connect in the smoke, but already the damage is done. Hampus has caught blame elsewhere. It's really on Obo. Try and relieve some of that pressure. He does tab away at 1. They know Hampus spotted in yard. Ooh, that jump nearly lost his life. Walk up the top of heaven. Young Obo.
This would be a huge clutch. And they kind of need it. Well, they more than kind of need it.
Now kind of walking into his domain. That's just the first and the second. Oh! No way! Obo delivers an ace clutch. The babyface killer pulls Complexity back into the realms of reality.
Whew, if that doesn't fire the boys on Complexity up, what will? He is just a turret. Look at this kid. He does not move. He doesn't move the crosshair. One after the other, they come into trade. You're not getting in. You're not getting past Obo.
Whoa, mamacita, that is something. Jeez, okay, wow, good morning. Good morning, Jason Lake. You're just sitting there, he just opens up the PDF of Obo's contract, like, yep, that's mine, great, minimize that, okay.
Oh, NIP, look at the money situation after that. You know, I say they yell, get schlattered. I'm sure Rush would have been piping that one through TeamSpeak after that one. They're in the same hotel. I've probably heard it between the floors.
Get schlattered. I wish I'd remembered that.
Get schlattered.
That's his last name, right?
Yeah.
All right, brilliant.
I'm sure we'll give you a couple more of those players. Don't worry about it.
I have no doubt in my mind. The fact that they grouped up main, like, against most players, that's the right call. Yeah. But Obo was so poised.
Hey, guys, let's go trade together and not give him 1v1s. Yeah, sure, all right.
Brum, brum, brum. That was him spraying, by the way, not a car starting. I realized not my best work. Blame, perhaps, gonna be inspired by the bloodshed from Obo, and he's already descending. Oh, well, Hampus is feeling cheeky here. I'm seeing knives out, not like this. No sound cues.
Oh, Poison just looked away.
He just looked away. And he did. Okay, catches him in the end, just in the elbow, sticking out. This is a full investment. It wasn't a pretty one, and now I can't help but feel that, is this a premature call save, or can I call it now?
Well, I think because the weapons are scrappy, they might try and go for it, right? Do you really want to hold on to a Scout, a Deagle?
No, sure. CZ? I'm looking at Rez's M4, and I know that he's got $100 in the bank.
Oh, it's about to be on the floor and out of the bank. So, NIP, they may as well go for this. Plopsky's been able to find one of the M4s. Seeing if they can upgrade for Nuke and Twist is one of the keys. It feels like Twist just wants to see if he can find anybody in yard. He'll be the only individual staying forward to fight. The other two, Plopsky and Nuke, will hold on to their upgraded weaponry. And Twist, who has been very, very good at dealing with a lot of these multi-kill pushes, hasn't been dealt with any this round. Oh, he's made a step. They know he's coming. Obo takes him down, and the other two will hold on to their guns deep, 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 deep in the T-spawn side of things. Hiding in enemy territory.
This is a 9-6 half on the back of that clutch.
It surely is.
Jesus, Obo. Look what you've done. Look what you've done to the Ninjas in Pajamas money. Good grief.
That's a breakthrough and a half. Those are the pivot rounds that we talk about.
Yeah.
the thing is, if they're able to hold on to this and it spurs them, you know, it gets them fired up. Not only does it have ramifications in the server to do with the money situation and how NIP are able to buy into rounds, it has a flow-on effect to your teammates. It's an emotional effect and one that can carry you through here and bring you back into your map choice. Map number 2. Nuke needs to do something special with this, so we'll be taking a look. The scout up and over the top has to dip away. Smokes are everywhere, and Plopsky's pushed forward with the rifle, so they've got the right players in the right places.
Yeah, I love this. I don't know if Conflict's going to be anticipating that little gap. Yeah, caught on the crouch peak. Need more. What have you got for me, Plopsky? Walking through the grey screen, it's always a little scary. And Rez upgrades to an M4. Good catch on Rush's vents. 3-on-3. Yard presence eliminating. More and more of the threat. Hobo is a real demon today. And only Twist, unfortunately, no armor with that M4, so he really has to be pulling the trigger first on his adversaries in front of him.
Well, I think they know where he is, Alex. Or
yeah, I think he might be onto something.
A pretty good idea. Flames towards the top of the vent. Blame didn't hear anything as Twist did a good job to stay out of the radius. And now as he's tucking in towards main, there could be a chance for him to win this. They're all isolated.
And Poison's got the bomb outside, like, by main, or mini, rather. And,
yeah, this is what I'm talking about. There's a gap here.
Oh, my goodness. If he finds Poison, that's the bomb. Did he see it? They're going to call it. 35 seconds. This would be a terrible round loss. This would be fist through table moment. And he has caught Obo on the hunt. He knows the bomb was yard. Blame has to retrieve it and go for a plant.
He can just stay topside.
It will have to be topside. Twist can play a ratty angle.
He has too. He's tucked himself in.
Oh, man. Blame's going to be real mad.
So mad.
So mad. He's got no armor this whole time, and Twist clutches it. A taste, a bite right back. Triple kill, not for the first time. 19 frags. He is pulling NIP, kicking and screaming through Complexity's map picks first half.
Forget about that 9-6. That's off the table. We'll be lucky now if Complexity can get to the 5.
Yeah.
And there was always this gap. I just had a feeling that there was a window because they were all separated. I know NIP before tried to play as a team. I know that they tried to go in and go for the trade frags and they weren't able to do it. Oh, that says it all. The smile on Rez's face, the frustration for Poison and Blame.
He's going to feel a little, okay, we need to see if there's any sort of mental reset capable here. Or will NIP? Nice catch, actually, in the meantime. Looks like Blame won his early duel. But Twist, so good here at the ramp room. He fires off his warning shots, drops the molly. It's about delaying here and survival. Some very premium aimers. Oh, trying to break the glass for the illusion of support. It works! It distracted Rush. Now Nuke fills the gap, but Obo, he's hitting his shots, and so's Blame. Looks like the two of them have done enough to cause the pain. 5 on the cards for Complexity, only Rez. And he's locked out of the vents towards the sink. And I think this one is all said and done. Conflict's just sitting on the bomb.
Wow. Wow.
You like that?
No, I don't.
You don't like that?
It's the last round.
Yeah, man. Just in case.
I don't think there is an in case right now. Rez. Good night, sweet prince. That's the end of the first half. 10-5. NIP, they are looking hot to trot, and Twist is leading the way. Let's see how this one concludes. We'll be back from the break shortly.
Hard to see the light when everything is tight and waiting for the clear. Thankful I'm alive, but terrified of dying. But hey, I'm still here. Is it bad? Sometimes I like it when I lose control. There's something in it that's so beautiful. It's and I can see the light. But I can also see the bones again. I don't know what else there is to I'm doing my best not to run away. You'll always be my night sky. You'll always be my night sky. You're the night sky hiding behind dark gray clouds. I can't figure you out now. I see all blue. There is so much cold in you, and the silence is so loud when you go. I just stay dancing with my shadow all day. Watch the tide. I can't find the point where our two paths align. But you're the night sky. I'm trying to see your stars, but I've always feared the dark. Now I see brightly. I can feel your silence. You always feel so far, and your stars are burnt out, and your heart makes no sound. I'll find valid in your eyes. You'll always be my night sky.
10-5 half, NIP holding on tightly to the pursuit of a third map up against Complexity. It's our second game, fifth day. Self Machine hanging out in the studio with Chad Sponge Burchild.
Danny, our wonderful makeup artist today, asked what our gamer names were.
She did.
A bit of a giggle at mine.
Laughter Machine as well, Chad. That's not the first time.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Oh well. Let's see. If Complexity have been able to find that mental reset button, it's certainly not out of the realms of possibility, but as Rez's score indicates, they have been leaked. Smoke for Mini. Poison going to be locked out of that one. And it is going to be a lot of bodies crossing fast. Poison's going to call the cross. Good grief, he's going to get overwhelmed. Maybe not. Tapping away. Hobo's found another head as well. Not today.
Massacred.
Yeah, and there's only one more left. It's all onto Nuke. Peppering them down. Good shot on the P250. No Kev. So this does become an even more insurmountable task. A smoke, a plant, perhaps his best bet. Let's not forget getting that bomb down in round lost does contribute 800 to every member of your squad's second round bye.
If Poison gets a little bit aggressive here, that's a kill for Nuke, that's for sure. Low HP, 23. Yeah. The bullet from the P250 might be enough. But if he goes to decon and limps the smoke out into the site, he might just be able to stick a plant. Here it goes. Will Obo deny it? He will. Tags him on up and actually drawing players towards him. So this is good by Nuke. Like bees to honey.
Oh. He's sitting in the smoke with his knife out, slashing away.
Cheeky, cheeky boy. Well, that's an important round for Complexity to win right here. After that Obo clutch, that sensational play in the first half. Thought maybe it would be a 9-6. They were battling back. But then Twist, he had a 1v3 of his own on an eco round. So Complexity really needed this one right here to start their CT campaign. Little bit of a grin on his face. And rightfully so, as NIP will be leaving spawn with only the Glocks on their back. And just having a look at some of the sprays they've got here. So Rush, give us a little flying over cam. We'll talk through some of these. We'll have a bit of a vote.
Let's have a little review.
All right, what do we got? Fly us on in.
Okay, we've got some nice submissions here. Plopsky's gone for the avant-garde monochromatic approach. The rainbow spherical puppy is also...
Yeah, that one's cute.
Kinda. I kind of like the details I'm getting on that pizza. Like, good grief, there's a lot of details there. What I don't really like the tag. I guess I get it's a tag.
I don't like that one.
It's like, yeah, I got an ace. Look at
Cool.
me.
What's the one? The couple behind them, Rush. What are they looking like, mate?
What's going on with this big red blob? Okay, that's.
Oh, I like that one. That's creative. So they've put 2 sprays together.
I see. That's a kind of a combination
Yep.
art submission.
Sounds like a chicken.
Yeah, and it's like, pourquoi?
Okay. Well, what else do we have here? Is there an NIP tag? Nice. Okay,
Nice
so
shot.
nice shot. 8 ball.
Oh,
Stay with it, Rush. Don't worry about the round.
looks like they're going to go and jump to their deaths.
Well, they're entertaining us, and that's quite nice. So we can thank the ninjas in pajamas for being so colourful. Oh, Alex, artsy.
It is quite artsy.
That was very artsy.
It was artsy, wasn't it? How artsy. See you later. Quickly, dealing with the first 2 out, Squeaky. Ideally, the SMGs. Oh, we don't want to be losing anybody here. Yeah, fortunately, Rush picks it up, pockets into the 600. Oof, good shot with the Glock, to be fair. Doesn't look like it's going to be translating into much. Just want to make sure that Blame's weapon doesn't fall into anyone's hands. And maybe, yeah, okay, good. Looks like they will hoover that one up. 10-7. We've got the new. I don't need a soundboard anymore, Chad. I've changed my mind.
You just want me to do them all?
Yeah,
I've done the train. I've done my best Hoover impression. I don't think Hoover sounded that at all.
Close enough.
Yeah. All right.
Good. The UMP sounds really ugly in slow-mo. Exactly. Wow. I didn't know you had such talents within you.
Yeah, I can't sing. I'm terrible at dancing. But I can prance, and I definitely can occasionally make the odd sound effect. So,
okay, it's game time. Serious hat on for a second. Plopsky down to 60 on his initial investigations outside. Nobody actively contesting that. It is Blame's responsibility, though. And so you can see he'll be paired up with Poison for your outside yard hold. Different wall of smokes thrown out from the ninjas, one from a peculiar angle. Wonder where Hampus is going.
oh, the timing.
Oh, they peek at the gap. That was a nice idea. Didn't quite bloom in time. Blame rather, finding one. Obo, big push, and that's going to leave a big gap. They could descend to the lower site here. Poison can't really contest it with a scout.
Conflict down the vent. He'll be the first port of call, or the first individual who'll have to deal with this attack coming through the ramp room. And oh, he's made it behind the bomb site in time, but the damage with the UMP at range is not great. How's he going to survive this?
I don't know what he's supposed to do. It's done enough. It has deterred them back up the ramp room. And Rez loves this. T-side just tucking in behind the squeaky box. Blame F. I can't believe he's managed to get that element of surprise. Leaving them, letting them have all of that space. It's enough to give them just a little too much. And then punish them for it. Great angle held by Rush. Rez, one of the hardest hitters. Eliminated that dink, yeah. Exchange of the headshots puts it into a perfect position for Poison. He's been sitting, waiting, and oh! What is that? Straight into his brain, through the heart. Poison just raising a couple of eyebrows and raising a couple of decibels for us here in the studio.
We've had some great Counter-Strike today.
Nonsense around across the board.
Lovely stuff. Lovely, lovely stuff. See this one again.
All right,
nice
mate.
the plan.
All right, mate.
And then, see you, Nuke.
Yeah, this is the camera shot.
Thanks for coming.
Oh, just crumples up in the fetal position after that one. Oh,
oh dear.
Jeez.
You definitely don't see that one every day of the week,
really
ladies
don't.
and gentlemen.
You really don't. The floor bangs are really minimal in Counter-Strike.
Oh, boy.
Bloody hell. Good God.
I think I was explaining to you the other day, like on 1.6 Nuke, I used to have like a little gimmicky play that I do. You'd plant the bomb in the default spot, and if you got to tuck down the vent, you'd be able to line yourself up and spam through the floor as they were defusing. And it's not like a straight up spam. You do it on an angle. Yeah. It was really filthy. I was into all the cheesy gimmicks.
Of course. That's half of the fun.
Yeah, I loved it. And you knew that it'd infuriate people, like dying that way. It's such a good way to go about things.
I mean, when I was competing, it was like the set nades for the bomb defusal, right?
Yes.
They were one-shot kill in COD 4 Pro Mod, so just these ridiculous, like leaning into a satellite dish and you run and jump and someone's mad.
Trigonometry.
Yeah, exactly. You carry the one, don't forget that. Now, nading open the door is not going to be the main play, but it could be a fast top hit with Tech 9s, and it does seem like Rez has got a lot of motivation, a lot of bloodshed. Only one. Rush deals with the aforementioned Rush and dunks Rez with his underhand nade, landing right at the perfect moment. Now, he also has a flashbang. Likely wants to Get his teammate set up, and that's a nade that's not quite going to hit the mark there. Just in the corner. Didn't quite calculate it right. And this is a smoke.
The one way.
This is the one way for the retake. Very cool. Likely going to see that a lot more now. Plopsky's baiting around Mini. Surely Poison thinks about this. Surely
Oh, no.
someone! Oh, Plopsky's going to give him a good go. Now the bomb safely held with his new upgraded weapon. Plopsky does not want to challenge that, but he will. And the jump peek gets the info and then finds the frag. These Swedes are plucky. And there's not really much Blame can do. He's just going to have to resign himself to save.
This was a low by Alex.
It was Tech9's top site, and that is a magnificent way to convert against the Complexity comeback.
It's not clearing their corners, and Plopsky playing the trigger discipline right there. Absolutely.
Good decision making.
The retake. So yeah, that's a great round for NIP to steal away. You can see them, they're pushing through the Molotov. Not sure if it was meant to be that shallow or if it was misthrown, but regardless, it did enough damage and they were able to deal with it in the initial stages, but it's this multi-kill right here from Plopsky with the scavenged UMP on the back of, I believe it was Config on the top side, was more than enough to convert the round here for the Ninjas in Pajamas. 11 on the board, 5 away from closing this out and taking us to map number 3, which will be Mirage. But let's see if Complexity has something to say about that before we get there. Oh, Hampus into the smoke, and Hobo, he won't even be aware of this. There is a massive gap that's just been taken, and the in-game leader, look at all the room.
Okay, so he's going to quietly mantle up. We saw what Config got up to on their first half of this map.
Oh, Config knows, he's awares.
Speak to the devil. He is ready and waiting. Interesting to see how Hampus is so happy to pause here, because he has got, and he's right to do so, because Blame confirms it though. Config was concerned about it. Now Blame's putting down the suppressing fire.
Blame!
That's a nightmare. But Rush has got a colossal double. Hampus so low he could barely contribute. It should be Config's frag. And the bomb going down. I can't believe he's just planting next to him. Hello, and goodbye. They'll take the 9th straight out of the gate after the fantastic conversion of a half by Tech9 top site. They'll be once again thrust into economical turmoil.
It's going to be frustrating for Hampus, right? Because he does all that work, he gets all that space, and he's like, okay, now we're set up. Now it's my chance to swing out from heaven and kill everybody while you guys do the misdirection. But Blame on that timing, finding him out.
Rush's hold.
The frag, but he was still able to give the info, do the damage, and you're right, Rush again with another multi-kill. And look at this, the pistols are back out. Maybe they'll be just as potent as they were before.
Ooh, maybe you're right. That puts an AK into Plopsky's hands. Don't really envy Poison's position.
Config's already lower.
Has he got smoke? They're going to jump through it. And he's missed the first. Not going to make the same mistake. But Plopsky, yeah, he's taking control of this round. They've got 2 AKs now. Oh! Plopsky's mad. Plopsky glad. Already, this should be the round. Another missed shot from Poison. He's having a bit of a nightmare. Plopsky's on for the ace. Just furious. He wants to finish this one off. Take us to 3. Complexity's map pick, and it's getting slowly, methodically pulled from them. This is just Rush accepting his fate. Having a walk around, see if anybody's lingering, but mostly a question of survival at this point. And Plopsky just wins the round off the back of pistols again.
Yeah, Blame's had a nightmare in the last 2. The last round not being able to convert to Hampus up heaven.
Yeah.
I know they still won the round, but that's going to be very frustrating. And then this one here, he was the individual who was entryed on in Yard. His job was to be there to stop the rush. You're expecting 1 or 2 kills from that type of a play. He gets nothing. Not only does he get nothing, unfortunately for him, his team loses the round. They're not able to mop up the mess. And the money situation for Complexity is dire straits. That's just it, straight to the head. Oh dear.
Damn, that spray though, into the head, and he gets that so quick as well. Very, very ridiculous pairing of 4 frags there. There's not much you can say or do about that, actually, really.
No, a bit of a smirk there from Plopsky.
Yeah,
so
he knows what he did.
Awesome.
He knows what he's up to.
Is the force from Complexity though, Alex?
Okay. Hampus currently has a bit of a gap where he could find Poison on his own here. Down to 43. Should burn him alive if he wants to stick around a credit card, and he is just roaming around. It looks like his death is inevitable. Wow! He still hits the deagle shot. Maybe it's Complexity's turn to make those sidearms sing.
We're seeing some fantastic individual ability on display here today. They've actually conceded ramp room. In the lower site right now will be Obo, the Robo Cop. Another one of these mechanically gifted youngsters. Config will join him. There is the lurk coming through yard on Rez, but this will be late. He's been spotted now, so he might actually think better of that. This is Obo's chance. Oh, he's stuck now.
He's chipping away at Nuke with 5 HP. Finally, Config should be going down. He does. 3 versus 4 now. Should just be a safe plant. Not much more the CTs can contribute. Rush wants to, though, with the M4. Making a very clear sound cue as to his location.
The other two are coming from ramp right now, so that res lurk is still in play.
And that 5 HP Orpa still finds his mark.
Real trouble for Complexity here. They're not going to get back into this round. The next, they only get the $1,900 loss bonus. So Poison has just squandered everything. Wasn't really a lot to hold on to. Can't really blame him. Speaking of blame, wow. Seeing if you can find anything at this point of the game. 13 on the board, 14 looming and seeming very, very likely for NIP. And considering where the money situation is going to be at, 15 maybe is a lock as well. Blame has saved the AK. So if we're going to look at any silver linings for the Complexity side of things right now, that will be it. He can drop the Deagle across and keep the AK for himself, but he needs to go beast mode. No, it looks like he does every day in the gym, but we need to see it in the server right now. NIP are really starting to tighten the noose, turn the screws. This is Cole's map pick after all. Swapping back and forth has been more of the story in some of our recent games here in the Pro League. Getting back to regular scripted viewing for everybody.
Sure.
Nuke with the AWP, sends off a warning shot in towards main. A couple of CTs towards the top site. Config's being gifted that Deagle from Blame F, and he will just be carrying across that AK-47. You can see his position right now, number 6. Spamming, letting them know where the AK is, but it's in one of the most pivotal positions to rotate around, help top site, help yard, help ramp. So that misdirection, it doesn't really offer them a lot, and he could be set up for a multi-kill here. He has to go huge.
Yeah, there's no other option. It has to be more than one. Holds it down for 2. And nearly Rez as well, limping for the rest of this round, down to 19. Descending the low side, Config to hold it. That's the Deagle Blame put in his trusty hands. Information perhaps conveyed. There is a low HP player, and Rez making a lot of noise. And that's the frag. God, it was a headshot as well. No slouch on the Deagle is Config. Difficult to overcome Plopsky, and now it's only USPs, so these 3 frags, they could struggle to translate this into anything tangible. Rush disagrees, though. Picks up the AK. 2 picked up. They could double peek this. There should be no way for Plopsky to deal with both of these players. From behind, he gets turned on. Down to 55 and finished off. Complexity will breathe a sigh of relief. Weapon upgrades for 3 of them. A defuse comes in with plenty of time to spare, and we do reach double digits. Looks like Nuke's going all the way, Chad.
Yeah, Poison getting a free AWP right there is fantastic. This should be good signs for Complexity. And I said that Blame needed to go large. Well, he was in charge of this ramp room with a double kill, probably feeling a little bit hard done by. He didn't get more, but Config making life easy, not fluffing that, not making it multiple shots. And that's a huge one to be stealing back here.
Damn, you even hit the gym, Jason? You're looking... He's got those forearms of a powerlifter.
Oh, he's a dad. He gets that dad strength immediately.
Oh, he just
what happens
lifts
is,
cars off babies and stuff?
Once you get your woman pregnant, you just get these massive arms, apparently. I don't know how it works.
That's a mustache. I imagine your mustache.
And a stash, yeah. And then you have to start wearing daggy jeans.
Daggy. Interesting round ahead of us here, folks. Strap yourselves in. The bomb looked like it was going yard. Rez thought otherwise now, so Plopsky... Oh, I think he saw a little thigh. But Blame not going down this time. He's been having pretty rough go of things on that outside yard, certainly on the T side, but they do seem to be finding their footing here, and that's an ambitious one from Poison. He does have the ability to drop off after the first shot, so 1, done. We'll forgo that part of the map now.
So 2 players lower right now for Complexity, 3 towards the top site. Config has to deal with Hampus. And Hampus will deal with him.
Good initiative from Hampus here. Obo off angle, jiggled out, but well handled again. Find myself saying that a lot when I'm talking about Obo. situations you often see mishandled, he often finds the correct answer. 45 seconds in the T's. You can see how far they are from T spawn. In fact, on the other side of the map, going hunting, Nuke gets lost. And with the perfect hold, there is, unfortunately for Rez, very few options available to him. His barrel sticking out, Obo tracing him in, and why? Shot in the head. There it is.
Just a moment.
Rush is just processing.
Wait, where did you die from? Oh, sorry, mate. Yeah, all right. We'll get him next time.
Why's he Australian?
Everyone's Australian.
Get him next time.
Give him next time, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Alex, 2,400 as the loss bonus for the side of things of NIP.
What are you trying to tell me, Chad?
I'm just waiting to see if the loss bonus is correct because it hasn't updated here on my HUD. But that's because I think we're in a timeout. So when it leaves freeze time, then it will probably update. So I just want to make sure I'm giving out the right info. But I'll take a gamble. I'm pretty sure they'll be able to buy because most of the cash around that point was decent. And there it is. So it is a gun round. 3 AK-47s, a Galil and a Deagle for Hampus. Should be putting them in a position to still remain threatening. The money hasn't swelled out of control from Complexity because they've really been just holding on to this. It was a 10-5 first half. There's already been 3 in this second half for NIP to put them up to 13. And Complexity are chasing. They're nipping at the heels there of the Ninjas.
This next round is very, very telling, and Hampus has done well to find some initial space. Look at that. Config was not expecting that. Quickly equalized, so perhaps the chaos can calm. But immediately flying out Squeaky ahead of the molly. Takes down one of the most fully equipped defenders. There's only 4 to go.
This is good stuff. Back towards Secret Smokes, and they know that Config is the normal rotator towards the lower site in a lot of these occasions. That means they'll probably pull Obo away from ramp. He will have to drop under and respect this unless they just want to gamble. And I think if we take a look at the radar, you can see he is pivoting on back from the ramp position. Will be dropping under now. Oh, will he be dropping under? There we go. I knew I was right.
But Rush is going to have a lot of work to do on this one now. 4 of them, all 4 of them heading to that top site on contact. Yeah. Catches one. Precise into the second as well. That is colossal. Plopsky and Twist, certainly within the realms of possibility. They can control this. They can 2 versus 4. Obo's rotation doesn't sound so bad now.
Twist has just smoked off his teammate, and he's planning for him. They might overlook him again.
Well, they get away with this. Blame dunks on Plopsky, so that main plant a little more redundant now. They like to push together this squad. It goes from 0 to 100. Suddenly, 3 players are swinging into you, and that was Poison getting the info. Up the vents from Obo, sound cues everywhere. Can't really pick your fight, or your not poison. Isolate them, or your Poison, given his keeping that AWP in play.
The plant will allow another low buy if NIP want to go for it. They could half invest here. With this amount of money, you're treating yourself, you're going out for like a... What's a food that everybody knows? I can't even think of like a middle price restaurant. I was thinking of like a middle of the range restaurant. You know, they're not going, yeah, they're not going out. You're not spending all the pennies, but you're going out, you're having a good time, and they can have a good time with this. Tech 9s, P250s, Deagle, bit of utility, nading open Squeaky again. We've seen a lot of this. It's the top rush. It worked for them before. Can they make it work again?
Looking positive. Rush prepares his aim, steadies onto the first 2, held nicely by Config as well. They fill the feed. And this one over as quickly as it began. Only Rez and a Tech 9 down to 74 and just wondering in what way he could possibly contribute. It does just look like the equalizing 13th here. Complexity, they've managed to really steady the ship. It was getting a bit bumpy. Whoop.
Good round from Rush, dealing with 4 players just there. Now, people might be, oh yeah, but they're only on pistols. Yeah, well, they lost to those pistols before. So they're not the easiest rounds to win whatsoever. 13-13, we're all tied up here. Round 27. I can guarantee you somebody will be taking the lead after this one.
Wow. Love it when you make those ambitious calls.
Thank you. No AWP on the T side for the Ninjas. They're just going to be rocking those 5 AK-47s. Smokes are plenty. They might want to go for the secret smokes again. We've seen that work for them a couple of times. Oh, it's a quick ramp. Obo's going to be tested.
Yeah, decision making. I like what he's opted for. The smoke. Either respect it or walk into me, and I'm going to make it clear I'm ready to put some bullets down range. very cognizant of the likely reactions to that smoke, but it does seem like it's deterring them. Obo, you're in a lot of trouble here. But seems to be well handled. Oh, that's a clinical execution. He was slowed by the nade in the flame, caught in the corner. Obo's going to have to do a lot here if he wants to continue to contribute. Spotted out, jiggled out, overwhelmed. He starts to get another before he falls. It keeps him busy. Blame F and Config still contribute. Bomb, Noose, and committed to that low side. Blame is mad as hell. Gets himself his double. And poor Rez lost so much health in that first exchange with Config that the clutch does become all the more difficult. It would be an ace clutch at that. And with the margin for error so low, he really has to be shooting first and precisely for both of these individual duels.
If he's allowed to get the bomb down, there's a chance. I feel like he might have that opportunity.
He might be allowed, though.
Granted.
That Cole are happy with that, though. I mean, more than often than not. Hang on.
He's going searching.
If he timed Blame here, oh my God. Oh, there's a world where he gets this.
If he goes vent to top, that's the wrong play. Oh no, Rush is going to be here right in tandem.
Yeah, they're going to be practically next to each other. This will be the cue for Rush to get in a position to contest, and yeah, wrong call. Doesn't quite pay off. Hindsight 2020, Complexity will take the lead, Chad, just as you foretold. But the CT wall is certainly looking blue, and it's Complexity blue at that.
Well, NIP.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9 CT rounds, my goodness.
NIP have taken a timeout to discuss their options. I'm not sure what their options are. It's only been 3 rounds. I'm trying to remember how we came about them. One of them was the eco that we were prefacing before with the top rush, where Popsky had the double.
Yes.
And before, we've seen Hampus actually take a lot of space towards Yard. He got a little bit unlucky with his timing flanking around towards the top of ladder, but they were able to do that, and that constricted the Complexity CT side defense. Their money is not in a position necessarily where they're going to have a fantastic buy round, but they will be limping on in regardless. So Rez has an AK. Plopsky is an AK. Twist with the same. Ork and Hampus deciding what weaponry they're going to be rocking. It will be a Deagle and a MAC-10 respectively. There's enough utility to go around. Maybe just do the secret wall smokes and have everybody run on down. That's what happened with Plopsky. Remember, they forced straight out Yard, took Blame's head off, managed to get into that lower site. Maybe more rinse and repeat of the same of what worked before. And that looks like they're going for exactly that.
They really are. And so far...
Oh, massive gaps in the smokes here.
No casualties, but yeah, that does seem like one in itself. Bloody hell, Rez. First bullet that leaves his weapon. It's into the head of the AWPer. They might have to go for some aggression here. They are partnered up already. They might try and deny that lobby hold. It's going to be Hampus given the responsibility of containing lobby push. And with only a MAC-10, it's not a favorable fight by any stretch. Config will be calling for help shortly. And I don't know how thorough you can be. I mean, this doesn't really get much more thorough than this.
Yeah, I don't know if Complexity needs to go any more forward than this right now.
They've called it clearer to an extent. Certainly still aware of, as you can see by Obo's crosshair, of the possibility of a late arrival. But it's not been it's not been a descent. It's actually been an ascent up towards heaven.
Oh, Config's going to be here to help out Rush. If he tucks behind the CT vent,
yes,
have to clear not only the CT vent, but the bomb box as they swing out heaven. 38 seconds. Clock's ticking on down. It has to be the top thing. There's Obo, he strikes.
And it will be Nork and Rez. Klopsky's lower push, still being scouted out on Obo, getting overwhelmed. They can descend now, they want to go lower, but Blame, look at his position. He even throws an incendiary on the bomb. He's played it perfect. They can't even pick it up, Chad. They can't even win the round, even if they wanted to. Throws down the incendiary, the rattiest corner, but a magnificent multi-kill. Played to perfection. Twist just has to sit back and hope he doesn't get found out. It's 15 for Complexity. They can 2-0 this. And the Ninjas in Pajamas, who impressed in many a game, on the come up. This was Obo's patience. How long was he waiting for Hampus? You've got to give him credit, and that's the call. Thought Obo was being overwhelmed, but you could see Blame was in a position to ensure there was some trading involved.
Another good game from Blame. 23 kills to his name right now. Obviously had some woes in the earlier stages of the first half, but they've really turned this one around. Just remember the Obo ace clutch.
That was the
1v3.
turnaround. That was it.
That was gnarly. That was quite the inspiration for the unit. And now with 1 round left to find, money not great on the NRP side of things, talking through their options. They didn't go for the secret smokes there. It was actually deeper smokes. They dropped down the traditional one to get you across to red box, but they also went for window smokes towards the CT heaven position. And they wanted to take Jules, and they were able to isolate the frag they wanted onto Poison. So now we see Hampus onto the MAC-10 again. 4 AK-47s, utility one more time. What is the final call? What is the final approach from Threat and Hampus? Needs to be the right one, otherwise it's GG. So it is the secret smokes, but that's just a fake. It's just a ruse.
Sound cue. Config's positioned his crosser to try and deal with someone rushing towards the squeaky. Oh, it wasn't broken! Not like that! Twist just ran into a wall, and he's evaporated. He repositions. He could even find more. Klopsky added to the plate. It's a disaster from NIP to end it. 16 to 13. We're done. The series ends. Complexity, take it. And we've still got Astralis up next. My goodness, a lot to discuss at the desk. The fans will like that one. We'll be back to break it down in a minute.